Hello, everyone. This is Sharon Heller with Network in Action, and I'm here today with Natalie Van Note. And Natalie is a high conflict divorce coach. Hi, Natalie.
Hi, how are you doing, Sharon?
I'm good. Thanks for joining me today.
No problem.
I think a great place to start, Natalie, in our conversation today is if you can tell the viewers a little bit about what is a high conflict divorce coach. Let's start there.
It started out with me. I have been a licensed professional counselor for 21 years. And in a previous life, I was in international management, and I wanted to be able to still use my investigative skills and conflict resolution skills while still being a therapist. And it was recommended to me that I somehow use that in family law, specifically divorce. So, way back when I got my therapy degree, I also started becoming a child and family investigator, a mediator, pretty much everything but an attorney that you can do in family law. And I've been on the parallel track doing both for the past 21 years. And my specialty that I guess makes me even more unique in the fact that I bring in all my therapy background and the law is the fact that I specialize in the therapy end with very difficult to treat people with personality disorders like narcissism and borderline personality disorders, and very difficult to treat people in general. And I actually kind of thrive on it, but I've developed a really comprehensive set of coping skills. And when I decided to start the coaching process, it's very different from just being a divorce coach. The actual American bar defines divorce coaching as just a supportive process for people that are going through divorce. Not quite therapy, and definitely not what I do. And so, and I tell people I am a unicorn. I'm pretty much the only person that has my, more than 2 decades in both fields and specializes only in high conflict. People that just cannot get along before, during, or after their divorce. So that's kind of how I got into it, and that's where I am now in my career.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, Natalie. And I think your uniqueness also goes to somebody who can do that kind of work and work with really difficult individuals and support those that are interacting with them. When I think about somebody who's going through a divorce or a separation with a really difficult spouse or partner, why is it important for someone in that situation to get professional help from someone like you? I want to say like you, but I don't know anyone else like you. Why is it so valuable for someone to get that kind of help?
If they're in a high conflict divorce, especially if they use my services, I can guarantee I save my clients time um, in getting their divorce done or their post divorce work done. I save a whole lot of money, and and I am especially passionate in keeping their kids out of it, to not getting them caught in the middle, and also making sure that their kids transition to these new family units and blossom and thrive in the way it was meant to be in the first place. It often doesn't end up being that way because attorneys and judges and even most therapists don't know how to deal with that. And that's something that uniquely I do know how to deal with. So I think that that's why it's so important to at least consider talking to someone like me about, you know, because I don't just offer one type of coaching. I have several different types within my business.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's part of why I wanted to do this video today, is to get the word out that there is somebody like you who's available to help, because I imagine for these individuals, I mean, they're in such a turbulent situation already, and trying to navigate it both from like the emotional side of things and the legal side of things, and how to best, support their children through it. That's tough. So.
That's very true. Yeah, and my job is to unbiasedly determine the true best interests of children in a high conflict situation where at least one of the parents' personality disorders are involved and are getting in the way. So I usually work with a client that got the rug pulled out from under them by the person with the hard to treat personality disorder. So, and that usually balances things because it's all about bullies and the other person in the equation, and I try to make it level. So, yeah.
Wow. So I'm going to steer the direction a little bit into a conversation that probably affects more of us, maybe than, kind of like your target individuals that you work with. Because I know, being married and in a relationship and talking to other couples, that this time of COVID and these last many, many months where many of us are working from home, in a situation that is different, and we have our spouse maybe working from home too. And I just talked to so many couples that are just grappling with like new issues and new dynamics in their relationship, that they really, up until about 4 or 5 months ago, didn't have to deal with. So do you have any tips or any suggestions for those of us maybe in healthier relationships, but are still kind of dealing with some new dynamics, that might help us out a little bit?
Surprisingly, yes. It's odd that you said that because I didn't think I would get any calls from I would call healthy clients.
Yeah.
But I have. I've gotten calls. People just want a few words of advice, and like during COVID.
Yeah.
And I would say for couples having challenges or just want to have a healthier relationship during COVID, or you're stuck at home, this is a good time to learn and experiment and implement new traditions. And by that, I'm talking about things like, for couples, things like a set movie night or a set date night in the house, or even going out for pickup, or if you can dine outside or something. Still do those things, or if you've never done them, I'm encouraging couples to go outside your comfort zone, not taking off masks. So I don't mean that comfort zone.
Right.
With your relationship. Now's a good time to expand your relationship, even though physically you're together like this.
Right.
Expand that. And in addition to that, I encourage each spouse to journal 20 minutes a day by yourself. And then 10 minutes of that would be free writing, and 10 minutes about what you need and want today. And then share that with your spouse and see what you can do, gifting, that to the other person. Because I know for myself and the people that I've talked to, we just kind of let that go out the window because you're seeing each other all the time. It's like, wait a minute, take a little time for yourself. Right. And figure out what is it that you need today, personally. What is it that you need from the relationship? What is it that you need if you have kids in the house? You need a little quiet time. Maybe your spouse or your partner can take care of that for an hour or something. In addition, exercise.
Uh-huh.
Everybody in the house needs to exercise. And I don't mean keep doing the exercises that you were doing, although that's good. You can always try something where you're all going to be on the same learning curve at the same time. So if your spouse already knows how to do a certain kind of sport, don't try to learn his sport.
Uh-huh.
Both of you should try a new activity, whether it be dance or aerobics or whatever, but do it at the same time so you both look foolish at the same time.
Uh-huh.
You're growing at the same time. And thinking with kids, if you learn art or calligraphy, all families can learn calligraphy. None of us know how to do it. And it's fun. And it's actually really fun. And it draws on the part of our brain that we don't normally use.
Yeah.
And the fourth thing would be think about the box and say, I love you unconditionally because these are three things. I love you unconditionally because I praise you because, and this is the kind of relationship I always want to have with you because.
Hmm.
And those are the three the ways I encourage couples and families.
I love that, Natalie. Everything you said from trying something new and having you all be new in it together.
Yeah.
I get why that's so important. It's like an equalizer. And I was thinking about one of the best family nights that we had during COVID is we had a make your own sushi night. And none of us knew how to do it. And we were all just, it was so much fun, right? Just being beginners together in something. So,
because having a beginner's mind
yeah.
actually is the same thing as what you do when you're doing mindfulness. And mindfulness is when your brain is at its calmest, which is what we all need during COVID, is to have a calm state of mind.
Right, right. Well, fantastic. Thank you, Natalie. And if someone watching this video wants to reach out to you, maybe they have a friend who's going through a really turbulent separation or divorce, or they themselves know they can benefit from the services you provide, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Well, they can either go to my LinkedIn site and find out information there, or they can just go to HighConflictDivorceCoach.com and send me an email, or they can call me at the phone number that's on that website directly. Okay. And I'm more than happy to do anything from answering questions. And like I said, my range of services go from, one in, one out day services to lengthy services. So anything that people need right now, I've been finding that people are calling out from the woodwork that need all sorts of different services, and it's more than my pleasure.
Yeah, good. Thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to talking with you again soon.
Well, likewise, and thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right. Take care. And again, feel free to reach out to Natalie Van Note, HighConflict Divorce Coach. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.